All right, I've got a couple big announcements for you guys. Number one, PFF's player prop tool is now available on the web for all PFF Plus subscribers. And number two, PFF Plus is 40% off right now. If you use the promo code Black Friday, you get all of the same data, grades, and analytics that all 32 NFL teams use, all 136 FBS teams use. As well, you get access to our 2026 NFL mock draft simulator, that world-class player prop tool that can help you nail all of your bets, and of course, the best fantasy football tools on the planet as well. Again, 40% off PFF Plus right now when you use the promo code Black Friday. All right, let's get to another 3:30 game. We've got Kentucky at Vanderbilt, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. The storyline to know for this game is Vanderbilt's playoff hopes are on the line. Vanderbilt right now is 8-2 on the year. They cannot afford another loss if they want to continue their Cinderella run to the college football playoff and complete one of the best seasons in program history. The finale next week against Tennessee is their biggest test remaining, but you cannot overlook this game against Kentucky either. Right now, the Wildcats have won their last 3 games and need just one more win in order to make a bowl game right now with a 5-5 record on the year. So Kentucky's playing a lot better recently. Vanderbilt cannot overlook this game for the Tennessee game next week.
Absolutely. You look at them beating Florida a couple weeks ago, 38-7. They took Texas down to the wire in a tight defensive game. Mark Stoops always has his defense playing good physical football, and I think that's something that, look, Vandy is going to have to get used to here. They've had to get used to here with all the teams they've played with really good front sevens lately. This is no different, and Kentucky offensively has really started to find the rhythm. So this is absolutely a threat to Vanderbilt, even at home, even against a team that you don't figure is obviously a top-of-the-line SEC team. But Vandy, it's survive in advance, and they've still got to survive this game before they even get to Tennessee.
So you have the Vanderbilt offense against a physical Kentucky defense. What should we know on that side of the ball?
Look, this is the 4th straight week that Vanderbilt is going to play a team in the top 20 of run defense grade. The previous 3 were actually in the top 10, Kentucky 20th. So it doesn't get a whole lot easier here with this front 7. David Gusta and this front 7 that Kentucky has. It's really good at stopping the run. Not as great in coverage, and what I've liked the last couple weeks, you saw it in the second half of the Texas game and then their previous game against Auburn as well a couple weeks ago. You know, I like that we have Junior Sherrill on the outside and Trey Richardson and Cole Spence, another tight end who's emerged for him. Diego Pavia's really had to take these games over with the great run defenses that Vandy's playing. But you know what they've really done the last couple of games? We got Eli Stowers back. We got primetime Eli Stowers back. Over their last 2 games, 82.9 receiving grade. My favorite number out of all of this, 25 targets in the last 2 games. You're seeing more plays in the passing game, just designed to get number 9 the football. He's their best offensive player aside from Pavia. He's good after the catch. He's good with contested catches. He can line up anywhere on the field. 25 targets, 19 catches, 268 yards in the last 2 games. This is the guy that you feel like is the matchup nightmare. It felt like during the middle of the season he went a little bit quiet, but I think Kentucky, if Stowers continues this momentum he had before this bye week, I think Kentucky could have a real problem in the secondary because he is the matchup problem. And then you start to open up things for guys like Spence and Sherrill and the speedster Trey Richardson. But I think the passing game now is back to being more centered around Stowers. They're obviously going to want to run the football, but I still think it's going to be tough against this Kentucky team. If Pavia has to take the game over again with his arm, look for Stowers to have another big game.
I'm looking at Kentucky quarterback Cutter Boley in this one, and can he keep his hot streak going right now? Because Kentucky overall this year has had a lot of issues at quarterback. Incarnate word transfer, Zach Calzada started the first 2 games of the year. He was benched after posting a 42.9 passing grade across those 2 weeks. So they started a redshirt freshman in Cutter Boley. He took the reins, and Boley was hardly any better across the next 6 games, only a 56.9 PFF grade across those 6 games. But something has kind of clicked for him in the last 2 weeks over Auburn and Tennessee Tech. Right now, an 89.2 passing grade for Cutter Boley over the last 2 weeks. That's tied for 7th among all quarterbacks in the country. 88.1% adjusted completion rate in that stretch is 4th among all quarterbacks in the country. Now, it is worth noting that Auburn right now has the 3rd worst coverage grade in the Power 4 And Tennessee Tech, of course, is an FCS school, so not necessarily the toughest competition for Cutter Boley, but still, Kentucky should be encouraged by his recent play, nonetheless, considering how much he struggled earlier on in the year. Vanderbilt has also had some issues with their pass defense this year. Right now, they're only 116th in the country in EPA per pass, and they've allowed a combined 72 points over the past 2 games to a pair of offenses that have mostly struggled this year in Texas and Auburn. If they can't improve this week and Cutter Boley stays as hot as he's been over the last 2 weeks, this could be an upset alert for Vanderbilt.
It's a good call, and Boley doesn't have to do too much, right? He just has to take advantage of the opportunities he's given, because this Kentucky team is still a run-first team with Seth McGowan, with Dante Dowdell in the backfield, a really underrated running back pair. But the fact that Boley's giving them balance is what's made them so dangerous over the last few weeks, right? You think about that 38-7 win over Florida. They had balance in that game. When Kentucky has balance offensively, they can be really dangerous. And you mentioned that Vanderbilt's defense has shown the cracks, especially when they've had to make tackles out in space. That's a big thing. Get the ball to your athletes out in space. Make Vanderbilt tackle in the open field. You're absolutely right. If Boley continues to play the way he's played the last couple weeks, Vanderbilt's defense is going to have a real issue, because a Kentucky team with a balanced offense is very dangerous.
Yeah, he hasn't really taken deep shots down the field, but he's been extremely, extremely accurate underneath. And like you said, Vanderbilt's defense has struggled making tackles in open space recently too. So ultimately, Dalton, will Vanderbilt stay alive in the playoff race, or will Kentucky pull off a huge upset?
I think they muster enough offense once again. I think Pavia saves them once again. I think this could be a struggle, especially with as physical as Kentucky plays on both sides of the ball with the run game and in their front seven stopping the run. I would like to see Vanderbilt getting a little bit more of a rhythm with their run game, but again, 4th straight week playing a top 20 team in run defense grade. So I think Pavia and Stowers are going to have to carry them one more time. I think they can do it at home. I'm going to take Vanderbilt 31-24.
I have it 34-21, Vanderbilt over Kentucky. I think that Kentucky will present some problems for Vanderbilt in the trenches in this game, but Diego Pavia has been one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Right now, the 2nd best PFF grade among all quarterbacks in the nation, only behind Julian Sayin at Ohio State. He shows why he could be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony by leading Vanderbilt to victory. And then after that, Vanderbilt might just have to beat Tennessee in the regular season finale to secure a spot in the college football playoffs. So Vanderbilt stays alive in the playoff race, I think, with a 34-21 win